Alright, so let's keep going with section 4. Now we're gonna tackle question number 13. 13 onward. Alright. So at 13 we have an approximation line. So we have a graph that is very similar to a line. So they give us the scatter plot of the graph of the number of employees versus number of weekly meetings, and that's shown as almost a linear graph. So that was almost a linear graph. So you can draw a best fit line through it, and we want to try to find the equation for this line, which is best estimate these scatter points that we have, the scatter point of the data. So to do that, we're gonna try to see from these data some best good approximated point. So you can see here we have a point here. We have a point here, which is a good point because it's exactly on the coordinate, and we have another point here which is approximately on the coordinate. So we're gonna use these 2 points to make an approximation for the line that we are finding. So we're gonna approximate the line of the whole data set by the line going through these 2 points, because these 2 points have a good coordinate, right? So we're gonna try to find a line that go through that 2 points, okay, which is very good approximation for the data, okay. Yeah. All right. So number 13. So we go on the line, which is let's go it because it's employee versus meeting, right? So let's say M equal to A times E plus B, right? And we know that it goes through this point, which is M E. Okay, so it goes through point 230 and about 31 and 30, and ME is equal to it also go through 400 and 40. So we can put it in and to solve for A and B. So you can here we can have 200 equal to A times 13 plus B, and similarly we have 400 is equal to A times 40 plus B, okay. A times 14 plus B, okay. So we divided both sides. So we divided both sides, we subtract both sides, we can get something like 200. So this is 2, equation 2, this is equation 1. So when we subtract 2 for 1, so we can see that here we can see that 200 gonna equal to 10A. So A is 20, right? Okay, so that's actually wrong on my side. So it has to be a little bit reverse. So 200 here, actually it's 30 here, it is 200 here. Okay, okay, I'm gonna do it again. So it's actually 230 and 440, okay. So we put E in 30, and here is sorry. So 40 equal to 400. 400 times B times A. Okay, that's 2 and that's 1. So here, when we subtract 2 for 1, we have 200, we have 10, equal to 200A, 200A. So we can deduce that A is equal to 10 over 200. So that is 0.05, right? And similarly, we can find out B is equal to 30 minus 200A, right? 200A, which is 30 minus 10, right? So that is 10. That is 20, right? That's 20. So we can see clearly whereas A is equal to 0.05 and B is equal to 20, the answer is A, right? So the answer is A. Okay. So number 14, how will the total cost change? Okay, so there's a equation here for the 14 and 15. We have equation. So R of Q is equal to 20Q and C of Q is 14Q plus 114. Alright, so the total revenue generated by a particular product and the total cost, okay, are both function of the quality or the quantity of the product sold. The function RQ gives the total revenue, RS revenue, and CQ gives the total cost. Okay, all right. How will the total cost change if the quantity units sold is decreased by 5? So, for number 14, we have RQ is equal to 20Q, okay, and CQ is equal to 14Q plus 140. Okay, so now what do they ask? How will the total cost change? Okay, how will the total cost change if the quantity is decreased by 5? So in this case, the total cost, which is CQ, right? So R is the revenue, so C is the cost. Okay, so in this case, CQ. So they asked about the cost change, the total cost, which is they asked about the CQ when the unit sold is decreased by 5. So actually they asked about C of Q minus 5. That's gonna be 14. Okay, so where is Q? We're gonna replace this with Q minus 5 and plus 114 because you know, like yeah, when the quantity of units sold is decreased by 5, the original is Q, so decreased by 5 is Q minus 5. So C of Q minus 5 gonna be, okay, 14Q minus 70 plus 140. Okay, so we can rearrange a little bit. So C of Q minus 5 is 14Q plus 140 and minus 70. And minus 70, just rearrangement. But we know that 14Q plus 114 is just actually just CQ, right? It's just CQ, so that's minus 70. So the answer going to be the total cost will decrease by 70, right? Okay, it means decrease, right? Decrease, so this should be A, right? Decrease. So the answer should be A, right? Because the total cost is decreased by 70. Yeah. Okay, 15. At what quantity is the of what at what quantity of units sold will the total revenue generated by the product equal the total cost of producing it? Okay. At what quantity of units sold will the total revenue generated by the product equal the total cost of producing it? So, okay. So, now they ask at what quantity the unit sold will the total revenue generated by the product equal the total cost of producing it. So what are they asking us? Just that they ask us to solve the equation that RQ equal to CQ. Okay, that's all. So when we just have to expand this equation, so RQ is just 20Q, and that CQ is equal to 14Q plus 140. Okay, so we can do some rearrangement. So 20Q minus 14Q is equal to 140. So 6Q is equal to 140. So we can deduce Q is equal to 19, right? It's Q is equal to 19. So the answer is going to be C, right? So because they asked us when the total revenue is equal to the total cost, so that's why we have to set the equation of RQ equal to CQ. Okay, so the answer is going to be C. All right. Okay, number 16. A publisher determines the number of page P that should go into a children's book by using the equation P equal to 8 plus 0.5K. K is the total number of pictures. Okay, so based on the equation, how many more pictures will be needed to add one more page to a children's book? Okay, so number 16. So we have the equation which is P equal to 8 plus 0.5 K. Alright, so K is the total number of pictures in the book, whereas P is number of pages. Okay, so P equal to 8 plus 0.5 K. So they ask how many more pictures we need to add one more page to a children's book. Okay, how many pictures would need to add one more page to a children's book? So generally they ask us how to transform P into P plus 1. P plus 1, then we have to transform K to what? We have to transform K to what? So generally, what input of K gonna turn K plus 1, P plus 1? What P gonna generate K? K gonna generate P. When the input K, we're gonna generate P. But what we gonna generate? We gonna input to receive P plus 1. Okay, all right. So now we just call that K. We just call that K. That K equal to K star. So now we have the new K to be K star. So new k star, and we have the p equal to p plus 1. So we have p plus 1 equal to 8 plus 0.5 of k star, okay, of k star, okay. So now we have how many more picture would needed. So we gonna ask how many more picture would needed, which means we need k star. We need k star minus k. That's what we need to find, okay? We need to find k star minus k. So in this case, I'm gonna say k prime for simplicity, okay? K prime. So we're gonna need to find out k prime minus k, okay? Alright, so p plus 1 is equal to 8 plus 0.5 k prime. But we know p is equal to 8 plus 0.5 k, right? So you can subtract both sides. So we can have 1 equal to 0.5 times k prime minus k, okay? So so here we take 1 and we subtract it by 2, okay? So here we can find out k prime, because what we asking to find is actually k prime minus k. So k prime minus k can be reduced as 1 over 0.5, which is gonna generate 2, right? So 16 is C. Okay, so here in question 16 we have the relationship between the number of page and the number of picture. Number of picture is k. Is p equal to 8 plus 0.5 k. Okay, so they ask us if now the p is changing to p plus 1, which means p is having the value of p plus 1, what is the k has to transform to? What is k has to transform to? Or, you know, in general, the new k, what is the difference between the new k and the original k, which is k prime minus k? So actually what they ask for is how many more picture would be added, right? So that's, they just ask for the difference between k prime and k, okay? Because k gonna be corresponding to p, and k prime gonna be corresponding to p plus 1, okay? K gonna corresponding to p, and k prime gonna corresponding to p plus 1. So they ask for what is the difference between k prime and k. Alright, so in this case we can set up equation. So k prime gonna corresponding to p plus 1, so we plug in. So p plus 1 equal to 8 plus 0.5 k prime, okay? But we know that p is 8 plus 0.5 k, so we subtract 1 for 2, we're gonna get k prime minus k times 0.5 is equal to 1, which means the difference is actually 2. So the answer is gonna be C. Okay, so let's check it out. So 13, 14, and 15, right? So 13 is A, 13 is A, which is correct. 14 is A again, 14 is A again, so it's 70, right? 15 is C, 19, 15 is C, 19 because we solved the equation, and 16 is C, this is 2. 16 is C, which is 2, 16 is C, which is 2, which is also correct. So I think that's enough for this video. So thank you very much for watching, and we're gonna keep doing on the next video. Okay, thank you very much.